Hello, everyone. We are live. This is so exciting. Sue Atkins, because we are going to start our series on expecting miracles. And here's Sue.
Hello. It works. It's
I
magic.
can't
We've got it.
believe it. I
Can
can't.
you believe it?
No.
Oh my goodness, the times I've done it and it doesn't work and all the rest of it. So yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the time when your internet connection goes down. And
Destiny, share this live video with others so they can watch. Shall I share the video or shall we just keep at it because I'm terrified it'll disappear?
yeah, absolutely. We're gonna record it. It's gonna be in our archive. We're gonna put it on the website, and then everyone can download and watch this series again.
Great.
So we're gonna be live every Tuesday at 7 for the next 6 weeks.
I had to rush my dinner. Did you? Or have you had it?
Me too. I had to rush my dinner down as well. It's been such a busy day. That's life, isn't it? But yes, we've got lots to talk about. We can't wait to hear all about your wisdom and expertise in this
Good pressure.
whole parenting sphere.
Sean is here. Hello, Sean.
Oh, hello, Sean.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I can see lots of people joining us.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to work out who people are from their
Yeah,
code
well,
name.
I know Sean very well. She's in my book club. She's got wonderful books for children called Alfie and Pepper and another series as well. So I know her very well.
Oh, fabulous. Oh, and there's Claire.
Yeah, hello, Claire. We're excited, as you can see, too.
We're very excited. We're very excited. So yeah, we're going to be covering lots of different
Yeah,
topics. You are the UK's parenting expert. Regularly
wonderful.
on our one of them regularly on our TV screens, and on the news. And I just know you've got so much to bring because the chats that we always
Yeah,
have and the ideas that we have, and we just want to help, don't we?
yes,
We just want
we
to help
do.
people.
We just
Um,
do. Yeah,
yeah, so we want everyone to join in. This is for everybody. If anyone's got any suggestions, any top tips they want to share, any questions for us, you can just comment on this live. Or you can send us a DM because our fabulous social media manager, Beth, is on the other end. So she's going to be looking at questions and sending them through as they come in. Oh, hi, Sophie. Sophie Price has joined us. Hi, Sophie. Hope you're well. So this week's topic is all about anxiety,
it is. Yes.
which I think we've all probably experienced at some point in our life. There's lots of different triggers and things like that. So, what can trigger anxiety specifically when you're pregnant?
Well, it depends, doesn't it? It depends whether you've had a baby before, whether you've lost a baby, whether you're an anxious person as a sort of a character thing or a personality, or whether there's something not quite right sometimes, or you're a bit anxious, or your partner's a bit anxious. You're picking that up as well. There's loads of things that can cause anxiety. Perhaps you're on your mobile phone too much and you get a little bit hyper and it can, you go down that Google route of looking up pregnancy, looking up babies. And then you go, oh, have I got that? Have I got this? Am I doing it right? Am I taking good care of myself? Am I too busy? Am I working too hard? It can go on. And it often comes up, I don't know about you, general anxiety at night, doesn't it? It can trigger it because it's quiet and your brain is quiet. And perhaps, your partner snoring and you're going round and round in things, or maybe you're uncomfortable. Depends how far on you are in your pregnancy. So there's lots of reasons for it. We don't blame anybody for any of it. It's very personal for the journey. But if we can be of any help to try and alleviate some of that anxiety, that's what you do so well with your helplines. For me, it's about educating yourself. And again, not going down that route of, oh my God, is there something wrong and I need to look it up? But sometimes, looking up what to expect or where you are in your pregnancy can then give you some reassurance, I think, about the unknown. So, reading books or attending, prenatal classes, being surrounded by like-minded people in the same boat, perhaps, or making new friends, so you don't feel that you're alone on the journey, and also get good informations and don't be ever afraid to ask questions so that you get the right help for you.
Absolutely, yeah. Educating yourself, I think, is really key because we can all hear of other people's stories, and we can we can hear about disasters
Oh,
on
yeah.
the internet and when we Google certain things.
Yes.
But actually, taking the time to ask lots of questions. If your healthcare professional has perhaps mentioned something to you that's triggered something in your mind that you're
Yes.
suddenly really, really worried about, that they're there to answer your questions, they're there to give you reassurance, they're there to give you as much information to empower you as possible so that you can then feel in control and you know what to expect.
I think, yeah, I mean, communicating is the key. It's the oil that lubricates everything in life, actually, doesn't it? Communicating. And, discuss your feelings with your partner or with your mum or with a friend or with your professional or with a counsellor, whoever, is supporting you. Because I think when you share a worry, it helps ease the burden, doesn't it, sometimes? And I don't know about you, but when I say something out loud, even to someone, I make sense of what I'm thinking and I put
Mm.
things in order and I can hear my own solutions sometimes. But never feel that you're a burden on someone. Always ask or even just offload. And they don't have to fix it. You know what partners are like? They tend to, if they're men, they tend to want to fix it. They can't always fix everything. Sometimes just holding the space. I used to say to my husband when I was pregnant, you don't have to fix it. Can you just listen to me while I get rid of it? And then sometimes you get clarity from that. If not, then you can go and find the help that you do need.
Yeah, definitely. And talking to other people that are in a similar position, they might be pregnant at the same time as you, around a certain stage, similar circumstance, because it might be first pregnancy, second pregnancy. Then again, you realize that you're not alone, you're not the only one that's got these thoughts and feelings. They are actually quite
Yes.
common. I know there's a great app out there called Peanut.
Oh, I was on, I used to write for Peanut quite a lot, and I was giving away all my expertise for free. And I thought, oh, I think I'll pull back from that. But it's fantastic for meeting people. You can probably see some of my stuff still up there, actually. But yes, do go and have a look at Peanut. It's a great place to join to feel support, isn't it?
It's really good. My friend Maria has used it a lot, and now all her friends are from the Peanut app, and so they all meet up regularly. They've now had their babies, and so they all
Oh,
meet up, and
that's
and
lovely.
that's really nice. And then you get support all throughout the journey. Then not just when you need it, you've
Yeah,
got it all the way through, and you're speaking to parents that are going through similar things.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, educating yourself, empowering yourself with the right information from credited
Yes.
sources.
Yeah, that's the secret, that credited sources, actually. Yeah.
People can go onto forums. I've seen it quite often, and get certain information from there. But everyone's experience is different, and so it's
Yeah.
very important to get it from the right source,
Yes.
from the qualified professional.
Yeah.
And obviously, our website
Yes.
is
It's
a
fantastic.
wealth of knowledge. There's
It
so
is.
much
There's so
information on
much.
there.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's a real place of expertise and support and nurturing. I think it's wonderful.
Oh, thanks. It's been a labor of love. I'm always adding
Yeah.
to it, always.
Yeah.
And when parents say, "Oh, I'd love to know about this and I'd love to know about that," we gather all the information from all the official sources. We get input from different
Yeah.
colleges, different charities, and then we put that page together. So that's there for parents as well. Is there any sort of relaxation techniques that us parents can do? When we're feeling really
Yeah.
overwhelmed, panicky.
Mm. Well, get grounded. I talk and teach the clients that I work with and parents I work with to do the 1 point. It's on all my CDs and so on, not CDs, they are now instant downloads, MP3 downloads. But you take your energy down below your tummy button. That's your sort of center, actually. And then you put your feet down into the ground and imagine that they've got the roots of a tree going through them, like an old oak tree. And from that place, take a deep breath and put your shoulders back. Breathe in kind of feeling grounded and centered and happy and in control. And then breathe out. And then you can do that 2 or 3 times and just feeling grounded. And you could be in a shopping centre, in a queue, on a bus. It's in your mind's eye that you can do it. You can do it physically too if you want to. But I always feel that that grounding exercise is such a simple one that you can do yourself. And it just brings you back to, if you're taking yourself out too far or you're a bit anxious or you're overthinking, just ground yourself. Take your energy down just below your tummy button called your 1 point, and that will really help. And I find that yoga or meditation, there's wonderful apps around there. I use Insight Timer. I meditate every day actually, just to get grounded and get centered, and it gives me clarity so that I know what I'm doing next throughout the day, or I can do it at night, helping you fall asleep. YouTube is fantastic. That's free, that app. Also, YouTube, if you put in guided meditations for sleep, there are some wonderful people there. There is Michael Seeley and Jason Stevenson. As soon as I hear, "Hi, I'm Jason Stevenson," and I just go, "Okay, I'm gone," because it's auto suggestion. I mean, I'm a hypnotherapist myself. I'm trained by Paul McKenna. So I love all that sort of stuff. But I find it helps you get grounded. But find things that help you relax. Is it walking in nature? Is it having a bit of time to yourself away from your kids or your husband or your partner if you've got other children? Go and spend time doing something that you find rejuvenating, because then you're taking good care of your baby. Someone says here there's a great podcast called Sleep With Me, which is excellent. Great, thank you for that. And that's what works for you. I haven't heard of that. So, draw on resources that help you. It's very important that you are relaxed. I was always chilled out. My son was born and he was pretty chilled, and I think it was because I was in a good place when I was pregnant. So it's important.
Give them a go. I always struggle getting to sleep, always, and that's just because I feel like I've got a million tabs open in my in my brain, and I'm thinking, oh, don't forget to do that tomorrow, and don't forget to do that, and then it just
Yeah.
goes round in a loop. It takes me ages to get to sleep,
Well,
so I
don't you
think
write that down? Because I find, because I'm busy and creative, and I have a pad by the bed. So if I get an idea even in the night, or I get myself too busy, I write it down. So then it's out of my head on a piece of paper, so I can relax and then go to sleep. And I know that it won't be forgotten.
yeah, yeah, that's a really good idea. That's a really good idea. And what about breathing technique?
Yeah, of course. Breathing deeply and slowly. Even a very simple breath in and holding it for 4 or 5 seconds, then breathing out for 6 or 7. These very, very simple things are really good for you. Breathing deeply and slowly and just getting yourself in a good place, wherever that place needs to be for you. And the other thing is, don't we didn't sort of mention, but limit your exposure to negativity and negative stuff. Turn off the news, for example, because that used to freak me out, because suddenly when you're pregnant, your hormones are all over the place. But also you're going to bring in a new, birth and a new child into the world. And you can get very anxious if you watch too much stuff on the news. It can really exacerbate your anxiety about the world and what you're doing and, bringing in a child to this world. So monitor some of that and watch your social media. Don't be scrolling through. You get your brain too buzzed up. Learn to relax. And I think that's a gift you give your baby.
And social media can really sort of implement mum guilt as
Oh, yeah.
well, because you see all these people that you follow and they seem to
Yeah.
have perfect life,
I know.
everything in order, dinner's perfect, it's
Yeah.
amazing, healthy food, and the children are so well behaved, and the house looks like they've had
It's like
24 hours
that
clean.
advert. I mean, I don't want to be horrible, but she does fairy and she's got this perfect toddler or something. She's dressed in white and everything's beautiful and white. And I mean, the reality when I had a baby, that was sort of sick on this shoulder and God knows what on this one. So, yes, you've got to be careful not to compare yourself to anybody else, because some of those adverts in particular are just not realistic, are they?
No, not at all. And it's all working away at you subconsciously. You're
Yes.
not necessarily
Yes.
conscious of it. It's
Yeah,
all
yeah.
in the back of your
Chipping
mind.
away. Yeah.
Yeah, it is, and it's making you feel negative, giving you this mum guilt, making you more anxious, thinking, "Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
how am I going to cope with having a baby? I don't know what to do with a baby, or having
Yeah.
another one, having a third. What am I going to do?" And watching these sort of adverts and TikTok videos or whatever,
Yeah,
this doesn't happen, and it doesn't help, and you're not searching for them
they pop.
specifically and
Sometimes
consciously.
they, yeah, they pop up, as we know. And the other thing that we haven't mentioned is if you are having a rainbow baby, you have a wonderful helpline and a wonderful place, because that can bring up a lot of anxiety and can be really triggering for people too. And that can cause a lot of anxiety. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, I obviously have first-hand experience of having rainbow babies, and yeah, when you're navigating pregnancy, it is an anxious time and you've got loads of questions and everything else. And having a rainbow baby is particularly difficult because obviously you're very, very anxious of what happened before happening again. You're very anxious around particular times in that pregnancy because that's when
Yes.
complications or
Yes.
whatever happened last time. And actually, for me, I didn't really bond with the baby whilst I was pregnant because I just could not imagine taking a baby home.
Yes.
I just didn't think it was going to happen. So I educated myself through the first pregnancy and met people and that sort of thing. But yeah, when I was pregnant again after I lost Aiden, I just couldn't get my head around that he was going to come home. And so when he did, it was a massive shock to the system because then I was like, oh my God, oh my gosh, Um,
And that's normal because you're protecting yourself not to feel pain or feel anticipation or be disappointed or be traumatized. And that's perfectly natural too, isn't it? Just worth saying to people if they feel like that themselves.
yeah, absolutely. So it's really just identifying that and acknowledging those feelings, and they are so common, it's okay. And there is so much support out there for you. And you mentioned our pregnancy helpline as well.
We've put that in the chat there, yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Yes, so that's for anybody that's feeling anxious, whether it's your first baby, second baby, whether you have experienced any birth trauma before, whether you are going through a rainbow pregnancy. It could be for healthcare professionals, that have had to experience baby loss themselves. Obviously, they know about all the different complications that can happen because they've witnessed it. We're there for everybody to give counselling and support and just be with you every step of the way. I found that having the extra appointments, the extra support, just getting myself through one day at a time, I felt too overwhelmed if I was trying to picture the whole pregnancy. Well, what am I going to do then, and what am I going to do then? So it really was just taking each day at a time, and you navigate your way through. And also, I did meet up with other parents that were rainbow
Right. Yeah.
parents as well, and 15 years later, they're my best friends. We
Oh,
still meet up
wow.
now with our rainbow babies, although they're 13 years old now, our rainbows. But it's really lovely to have that
Yeah.
support network, and
Yes.
you feel like
Hello?
you're not alone.
Yeah.
And it is very normal, and you can speak to your healthcare professional. They're there,
Mm.
they're there to help every step of the way. So that helped. And actually, when I was pregnant with Tilly, she's now 11, I did some hypnobirthing
Right.
classes, which I found
Yeah.
much better because it wasn't your typical antenatal. You didn't have to introduce yourself and explain your situation because I really didn't want to explain, oh, this is my third pregnancy. It wasn't like that. And it was solely focused on the breathing techniques. And I find that now, if I injure myself, say I twist my ankle or I do something really silly and I'm in a lot of pain, I still use those breathing techniques
Oh, yeah.
today to get me through certain situations.
Yes.
They were really powerful. So I definitely recommend hypnobirthing, no matter what you've been through before. They're really good classes to help.
Mm. Good one. So it's about healthy lifestyle, isn't it, as well? Making sure that you're regularly exercising gently. I did a lot of swimming when I was pregnant. I used to love that because the water supports you. Again, it's about a balanced diet, isn't it? Having what you do enjoy, but not binging on perhaps cake and sweets or whatever it was. And I remember it's brought back a memory now. I remember I loved the smell of tar. I used to go into Sainsbury's home base and just go around sniffing sort of the fences or something. And I loved the smell of petrol, whatever that was all about. But anyway, but it's also about making sure you get plenty of sleep, you drink plenty of water, it's nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself. And as mums, we're terrible, for running around after everybody else. And if you do have other children, it is hard to sit down with a cup of tea, but sometimes popping them in front of the TV, there is a reason that you can do. This is going back. My son used to sit in front of Postman Pat when I was pregnant with Molly, because it gave me a few minutes, gave me 20 minutes to have a cup of tea and a sit down with him, and we chat about the programme. But I was calming myself down to rest because I was getting tired by that time. So it's important that you get plenty of sleep as well, even though if you're a bit uncomfortable. So all of those is probably everybody knows that stuff, don't they?
They do, but finding the time to do it. But you've told me before about that it's just one thing. If you change just one thing,
Yes.
you can end up sort of changing a habit. And
Yes.
what I did, I was so bad at self-care, but when you're putting together your little bag for the children, you're putting together the nappies or the little snack box that they need, I would then think, oh, I'm going to make myself a drink as well, and I'm going to take a bottle of water
Right.
for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so even now, the children have grown up and all the rest of it, you grab their water bottles, and so I always grab one for me as well. It's such
That's it, because that's
simple.
easy. Isn't that a good tip, though? That's so easy to remember. One for you and one for me,
Yeah,
kind of thing. But it makes you drink water, or it makes you think of having an apple if you've put an apple in their snack box or something. So it's a good tip.
exactly.
That's simple. I love things that are simple.
It is really simple, yeah. And bubble baths as well.
Oh,
Bubble baths are so relaxing,
oh,
so
yeah.
nice. And you can get all these like nice oils,
Oh,
calming,
oh, you've got to be
relaxation
careful with
oils.
some of those oils, haven't you, when you're pregnant? You do. I don't, because I
Yes,
love aromatherapy oils, but you've got to be careful of some of them, and I'm not sure which ones they are. So do double check that. Um,
yeah,
don't do what my husband did when I remember when I had the kids. I'd been with Will, all day because he's only little. He's about 2 when I was pregnant with Molly, and I he'd been at work and I'd been with him all day, and I went up. He said, "Oh, have a bath." So I went upstairs. I love a bath, scented candles and all that. And then the next thing I turned around and my husband said, "We've come to see you." And I thought, I've been with him for 12 hours. And I didn't say all this out loud, but I just wanted a bit of space, for myself in the bath because I was pregnant and tired. So sometimes you have to communicate your needs. You can't, your partner doesn't, if you've got one, doesn't always know. It's not mind, or they're not a mind reader for your needs. So once I explained, if you didn't mind, this is a bit of me time where I was sort of quiet and all that, then you can feel relaxed and enjoy your bath or whatever it is you do to calm down.
yeah.
Yes, I love a Lush bath bomb as well. You know what I did? I was a deputy head class teacher for over 20 years. And I remember I love Lush. So I chucked this thing into the bath and jumped in. It was marvellous. And when I went into school the next day, I was just covered in glitter. But the kids loved it because I only taught primary. So it didn't matter. But anyway, there we go. That's the story of me and the Lush bomb glitter thing.
It's cleaning the bath afterwards
Oh,
sometimes.
yeah, yeah. That rim of glitter. Worth.
Even now, I go into the bathroom because the children are just so incapable of emptying the water out after they have a bath. And I have the shock of my life sometimes when I walk in because it's like, a luminous blue or a luminous orange. But yeah, they love it. So self-care is obviously
Yeah.
so important, which obviously runs alongside mental health,
Yes. Yes.
trying to keep positive and like we said, staying away from the negative stories
Yeah.
and trying to replace them with looking at people's positive birth
Yeah.
stories.
Yes, definitely that. Yeah, absolutely that. And setting realistic expectations for yourself. I remember writing this very exotic birth plan, and it didn't go according to plan at all. My son was Von 2s and came 2 weeks early. So be flexible. Of course, you'd like to have some ideas and some plans and all of that, but life just throws you curveballs left, right, and centre. So be adaptable is my piece of advice actually on some of that too.
Yes, definitely. It's really good, obviously, to prepare for childbirth, and think about, educate yourself, learn about all the different options, talk to your healthcare professional about the choices. And that also really reduces anxiety, because then you feel more in control. You feel like you've got a plan, especially if they do find any complications. If they say, oh, you're higher risk of this
Yeah.
happening, or you're higher risk of that happening, then again, ask as many questions as possible. Be really informed. You don't have to make a decision there and then. Well, it depends on the situation, but usually, you've got some time and you can change your mind if you
Yes.
decide
Yes.
that's what I want
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
You're perfectly within your rights, and your healthcare
Of
professional will
course.
not mind whatsoever
Yeah. Yeah.
if later on, you've done more research and you change your mind, and you want something
Yeah.
else. That's absolutely
Yeah.
fine. Um, and it's good to try and have your birth plan in front of you all the time. So when you speak to your different healthcare
Yeah.
professionals,
Yeah.
make sure that
Yeah.
they've seen it.
They all know.
Um,
Listen, I love Claire's. I love doing affirmations in the morning. I'm a big affirmation person, Claire. I love that. In my Can Do Kids journal, which is a confidence journal for children 7 to 12, um, I get them when they brush their teeth. They look in the mirror and they brush their teeth, and I am special because. And they have to say something they're special for, and they get used to it. And they go, "Oh, I don't like doing that. It's a bit mad." But they start off, just saying sort of silly things, and then the more they do it, the more they building up their self-esteem and their confidence. And then when they brush their teeth in the evening, I get them to be things they've been grateful for that day. And you start off with the general stuff, but the more you kind of do it and get a habit of that, then it becomes quite deep and meaningful for kids too, because then they learn to be grateful for things that we sometimes don't even, goes over our head. We don't even think. So affirmations, Claire, I'm a big affirmations person. I think they do help you.
oh, that's wonderful. Because I am a believer of building
Yeah,
confidence as well,
of
because
course.
we tend to worry about speaking up.
Yeah.
And we're going to cover a whole session on communication, aren't we, Sue? Which I think will be really, really helpful.
Yes.
Um, and it's how to have those conversations, how
Yes.
to actually say to your healthcare professional, who you know they're the expert, but you want to say, oh, actually, would you mind if we did this, or would you mind if we did that, to help reduce your anxiety. So any little affirmations that can help build your confidence. Because we don't tend to want to pester people, do we? Or we think, oh, I don't
No,
want to
don't like to be a
bother my
nuisance or
wife.
something.
Don't want to be a nuisance. We're kind of like a people's pleaser society, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah.
But our message is always, call straight away, don't delay. If in doubt, get checked out. Your
Because
midwife
you
is
know
there to
yourself better
support.
than anyone. When I'm working with clients as well around their children, because obviously I work with people through the ages of kids, trust yourself. I remember my children. Will had a funny cough, and I took him to the doctor, and he said, "Go straight to the hospital. He's got bronchiolitis." And then my daughter got it, and they were both admitted actually on the same week. It was really stressful, but I trusted myself, and you must always sort of trust yourself. Never be too shy to speak up. Again, it's how you say it, though. It's about being confident, not rude. It doesn't have to be aggressive or tricky, but it is about speaking up for what you know, because you know yourself better than anyone else, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So I think those affirmations are building that confidence up.
Yes.
We always talk about trust your instincts.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
Mama knows
Yeah.
best. You know
Yeah.
your body. You know your baby.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
baby is different, but
Yeah.
obviously you're with your baby 24/7. If
Yes.
you recognize that there might be a problem, or there's a change in their movements, for instance, you know best, and it's okay. You're meant to report these things to the healthcare
Yes.
professional. That's what they're there for. They're on the end of the phone. They're in the maternity unit just for you, and they would much rather give reassurance and send you on your merry way
Of course.
than you
Of
leave them too
course.
late.
Yeah,
So,
I mean they're in that nurturing, caring, community. That's why they've chosen the job that they do. They want to help you, not kind of judge you or anything. Also, the other thing, I'm mindful of the time, but I want people to keep their own lives going. Stuff that you enjoy can take down your anxiety, help you relax. So if you like reading a book, or you like meeting a friend for a drink, or going to the cinema, or whatever it is, whatever your hobbies are, I know we can get hijacked by feeling tired and all of that. But sometimes when you meet someone, you get your energy up because you have a chat with them and you feel better and you have a laugh, and that releases endorphins, and all of that is good too. So do take care of yourself and enjoy and keep your life going, because it's a special time, and it's an enjoyable time. And I hope then it takes down some, your sense of anxiety if you're worried a bit.
It is, and it is temporary,
Yes.
you know, because I know sometimes being pregnant can be very uncomfortable. It's very
Yes.
frustrating trying to
Yeah.
sleep. You could end
Yeah.
up with pelvic pain, and there's all sorts of things,
And if it's too
indigestion.
hot, but we're coming into a different season now. But I remember, being very uncomfortable because it was so hot during the summer when I was pregnant. So yeah, whatever it takes, just bring down that anxiety, talk, listen, chat, enjoy, and relax in whatever way you find you relax, and work on that.
Yes, and just be kind to yourself.
Yes, self-compassion, absolutely. Because you're bringing a new baby into the world. You're nurturing life. What could be more important?
Exactly. And there's going to be so many more lessons to learn along the
This is
journey,
only the beginning.
Exactly. It really is. It really is.
And can I just say, it never ends. My daughter's got a big birthday coming up in about 3 or 4 weeks, and she started sending me little reminders of, oh, I like this, and can we get balloons like that? And I think, God, how old are you? She's 30. So, it never ends.
No, I can imagine. I can imagine. It just gets different, doesn't it? And
Yes, yeah,
my daughter, she suffers with anxiety a lot, actually. She really does. And so I'm having to learn different techniques to try and deal with her anxiety. And it's very different because obviously she can't articulate, she can't communicate very well. She doesn't understand the feelings that she's
have you
feeling. It just comes out.
tried tapping? We talked about that, I think. Did we talk about tapping?
Yeah, yeah. I've done a little bit of it, but it's amazing actually because she's starting a new school
Mm.
officially tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Um, she's going into secondary, so
Oh,
obviously that was
well,
quite
that's a big
scary,
move. Yeah.
huge. So I've been thinking about all the children actually going back to school this week.
Yes.
But
And the teachers.
and oh yeah, yes, my best friend's a teacher, absolutely, and the teachers. Um, but yeah, she's really turned a corner the
Oh,
last couple of
wow.
months.
How
It's
wonderful.
amazing. I've struggled
Yeah.
with her for years and years because she is just so anxious and she doesn't know how to deal with it.
Yes.
And like I said, she just becomes very naughty and just acts
Yeah.
completely, does
Yeah.
random things.
Yes.
But yeah, the last couple of months, she's unrecognizable. She's like a little angel, and I thought she was going to get worse,
Yes.
worrying about the new
Yeah.
school that she's starting.
Yeah.
But actually, something's happened. So
I
I
wonder.
hope.
I wonder what that is. You'd have to kind of get to the bottom of that. And,
Yeah, I think
that's
it
wonderful
is.
news.
I think it is years
Yeah.
of trying different things
Yes. And what
and
worked for
implementing
her? Yeah.
different techniques.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a very bad eater. And so it was really working out how I can get her to eat. I found the right game
Yeah.
basically to play at dinner time,
Yeah.
and that just worked. So
Yeah.
I stuck with that.
Well, everyone you have it's trial and error, isn't it? And every child is different, so you have to work out what suits your child. There isn't one size fits all.
Exactly. And it's the same with us. When we're feeling anxious, we can learn so much from other people and
Yeah,
try all these different techniques that other people have
but
tried.
try
And
them
then eventually
one at
you're,
a time and give them
yes,
time. That's the other thing. It's a bit like when you have multivitamins. If you just eat loads of them, you go, well, I don't know which one worked. So do one technique and stay with it for quite a bit, and then go, well, that wasn't the one. Because if you just keep on chopping and changing, you get confused, so you don't know which one actually works.
yes, we're very impatient, aren't
Yes.
we? So we probably don't give things as long as they need. That's a very, very good tip. What other things can you think of that people can do to try and bring their anxiety levels down.
Well, as I say, I don't know if people know, but tapping is something I learned with Paul McKenna. Once I learned it, I put that into my toolkit because I've got loads of stuff. I'm an NLP master and practitioner. I've got loads of stuff, but that can do that and really help. I teach it. I have I do it when I'm working with clients, but also if you go to YouTube, there's a guy called Brad Yates that I really love. And you can just watch one or two of his videos, depending on what he's talking about, whatever you're feeling, like, I don't know, disappointed or worried or anxious. And he will talk you through and you just do it. And honestly, they use it in Kosovo, they use it in all sorts of difficult places, war-torn places. It doesn't get rid of the memory if you're going back a bit with something. I've used it in all sorts of places and for all sorts of things, but it seems to take down physically from you that high sense of anxiety. So you bring it down. It starts off as maybe a 10, then you can bring it down to about a 6 or a 4. And then if you keep tapping the different things, you can reduce it. And it really is very powerful and very quick. So check out Brad Yates on YouTube or check me out.
We'll always be checking you out, Sue. Oh, that sounds brilliant. What a great technique to try. So yeah, I think I'll give that one a go as well. I'll check out Brad Yates. We've obviously got our pregnancy helpline as well, the
Yes,
mum
of
helpline.
course.
So we're going to put the number up on here, but it's also pinned to our Instagram feed as
It
well.
is.
So
Yeah.
anyone can find that at any time. And again, share that with your friends if you know someone that's struggling,
Yeah.
that might be feeling anxious, having a rainbow pregnancy. You can just share that image with
Mm.
snap it to them and let them know that's there for them. It's for everybody. So hopefully that will really help. I'm just wondering if anyone's got any questions
Yeah.
for us.
Well, let's hope this time next week you bring some friends, tell some family, and we might have a few more people on. But this is actually going to be recorded anyway, isn't it? And put in
Yeah,
different places. But it's lovely if you tell people that in your group or wherever you're doing your, prenatal or antenatal or whatever, what stage you're at. Come and join us because we're here to help and by all means ask us questions. We love that.
yeah, get involved. Get involved in the discussion. Um, Next week we're talking all about empowerment.
Yes, we
So,
are. I love that. I love that word, don't you? I love it. It shows sort of self-regulation where you get, confident doing things for yourself, speaking up. We talk about the journey and how you can feel more in control of your experience, I think, really next week.
yeah, we talk more about birth plans and how to take charge of your healthcare. How to
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
feel more in control,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
They're the experts. They've got the wealth of knowledge, but it's up to them to give that to us. They have to inform us in a non-biased way so that we can make the right choices for
Yeah.
us. And so, yeah, I can't wait for next week. Just empowering people so that it's your choice, it's your body, it's your baby, it's your
Yeah.
choice.
Yes.
And this is the best way and the safest way to go about making those
Yeah.
choices. So that's really exciting.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, I look forward to that. So tell all your friends and family. And we'll speak next time then.
Yes, join us again next week at 7 o'clock, and we'll be here. Thanks
Take
so much,
care.
everybody.
Have a good week.
Bye.
See you next time. Bye bye.